Hello, my name is Katie Tidwell, and today I'm going to talk to you about adoption and the multiple effects it has on adoptees. Did you know there are over 7 million adoptees in the U.S. alone? Generally seen in a positive light, it is often an alternative for abortion and for parents who can't conceive. Although adoption may be the best option in many cases, society does not acknowledge the full cultural, psychological, and social effects being adopted has on an individual. Throughout the world, we define our cultures through food, language, religion, customs, and location. Conversely, adoptees grow up in a completely different location and culture than the one they were born into. This makes it difficult for them to connect with either their birth culture or their new adoptive ones. Also, many families have a closed adoption, where the adoptee does not have contact with their birth families at all. This includes not having their original birth certificate. They'll instead receive an amended one with their adoptive family's name on it. According to the Family Institute at Northwestern University, there are around 3,000 international adoptions a year. These adoptees do know what country they were born in, but they may not have any information on the specific region or city. The child's race or ethnicity may be different from their adoptive parents, which may make it harder for the adoptee to feel a secure sense of belonging. This lack of information on where they're from in their culture can ultimately lead to difficulty in forming their own identity. Furthermore, adoption affects adoptees psychologically as well. You're so lucky. Those are 3 words every adoptee has heard. These words are said with good intention, however, they do not leave room for an adoptee to truly express their feelings. According to author Nancy Verrier, the primal wound occurs when biological mother and child are separated. The 9-month bond built between the mother and child in the womb through touch, sound, and smell are suddenly gone. This imprints a sense of loss on the unconscious mind, and is perceived as a traumatic experience. Adoption is the only trauma one is told they are lucky to have. Society expects an adopted child to be grateful to have a new family without allowing room for them to grieve or to ask questions about where they're from. Many adoptees have siblings, grandparents, cousins, etc. that were left behind or are unknown to them. And for most adoptees, if they do ask questions, it's taken that they don't accept their new adoptive families, when in reality, they're just curious about where they're from. Without being open at home and talking about these things, or seeing a therapist if needed, the primal wound can lead to a substance abuse, depression, anxiety, isolation, and feelings of guilt and shame. Additionally, being adopted affects how an individual builds relationships and interacts with others. As stated by Daniel Siegel in The Developing Mind, the adopted infant's brain synapses began connecting according to the perception of an unsafe environment. Without care from family or health professionals, this trauma might influence the way an adoptee acts without them being aware that their past is influencing their current actions. Adoptees often struggle with feelings of rejection, shame, and guilt, and these feelings may lead to subconsciously pushing away others to avoid experiencing additional loss. Also, having a lack of secure attachments early in life can lead to controlling or anxious behaviors in personal relationships. While adoption is definitely an amazing option for families, we cannot overlook the deep impact it has on adoptees culturally, psychologically, and socially. Through adoptive parents educating themselves on their child's experience, as well as seeking the help of a therapist if needed, adoptees can get the support they need. Adoption is the joyous beginning of a new journey, but it also marks the end to a story as well, and that deserves to be acknowledged. Thank you.